This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Shoshina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the coastal community of Smiths Point to be transformed as serious environmental concerns which have plagued that area for more than 25 years will soon be addressed. A multi-million-dollar contract was signed on Friday, paving the way for significant improvements for those who live and work in that community. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
The $4.8 million contract for the construction of a seawall in Smiths Point has been decades in the making. According to the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Dowell, this major undertaking coincides with a series of other capital projects in the pipeline and that are now being advanced by the government.
I am pleased that under this Christie-led administration, we are breaking ground for this new seawall here in Smiths Point. There's a saying that goes, delays does not translate to denial. This event today is a summation of the work that has been done through the Ministry of Works and Urban Development, the Ministry for Grand Bahama, the Ministry of Finance, and our private-public partners. I thank you for your support, the people of Smiths Point, for your patience. I've had many discussions with Mr. Eden. At one point, I couldn't even come in to get some conch salad. But to God be the glory. With hard work, dedication, and support, we are at this point, and I'm so pleased that this project is now a reality.
Minister Dowell stated that a great deal of planning and studies of various options have been carried out to determine the right fit for this coastal community.
I decided, with the help of the Ministry of Works and Urban Development, that we would go with a design-build concept, and that will be utilized to ensure that the geotechnical studies that were completed were used to ensure that the seawall that will be erected here in Smiths Point meet international standards and prove to be an aesthetic beauty for the island of Grand Bahama.
Chief Counsel for East End Marcus Cooper calling the event historic as the time has finally come for the people of that community.
The actions of today's proceeding demonstrate that all the talking and the criticisms were avenues used to ensure not only that Smiths Point received their seawall, but to ensure that it is done right the first time. Today is an historic day in the life of Smiths Point. Today represents the restoration of hope. We no longer do we need to live in fear of losing what we now enjoy, and for many, our way of life.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
In other news, the City of Freeport Council investing in the youth. The council's summer employment program that was reintroduced last year is back again this year as the councilors seek to provide job opportunities for the youth. Our Talia Hall has the details.
The City of Freeport Council hosting its summer employment program orientation. A number of high school and college students were in attendance. Guest speaker youth pastor at Freeport Bible Church Kyle Maycock telling students that preparation is the key to success and they should always write down their goals.
Because if not, you're going to find yourself bouncing from here to there, to there, to there. Your goals, if you write it down, it provides motivation for you to get up every morning. It provides some kind of steps. You could celebrate successes. You could celebrate achievements.
Maycock challenged the group to make an investment with their salary.
How you manage what you make is going to influence the way you live down the line. How you manage the $150, the $200 that you're going to get per week or every other week or at the end of the program. How you manage that is going to determine the quality of life that you have.
Deputy Chief Counselor Navarre Smith says programs such as these are always a good investment in the lives of the youth.
It gives them an opportunity to earn a few dollars while most importantly gaining life and professional skills that can help them along the way over the long term.
Councillor Marco Carey encouraged counselors who will come into office next to continue the program.
Parents today still coming up to me and told me how grateful and thankful they are for the stipend that we helped with them last year. So please, any councillor, anybody who's running for the City of Freeport Council next year, Please continue this program.
These students say they are looking forward to gaining some on-the-job experience.
I'm looking forward to actually starting to work so I can get a field of what the real workplace is like, so I can know what to expect when I actually start my job and start working.
And get more adjusted to that type of environment and trying to just put myself out there and get people to know that I'm a good worker.
Well, I'm looking to learn a lot of new stuff. I'm looking to get exposure and to meet new people.
Now the program will include some 180 students and will run from July 4th to July 29th. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Switching gears now, the former employees of two Grand Bahama companies that closed their doors several years ago are now imploring the government to step in and ensure that they are given their severance payment. They have teamed up with a community activist who says they will do what they must to get the attention of the nation's leaders. Cleopatra Murphy has more.
6 years after Freeport Concrete and the Home Center closed their doors and laid off 56 workers, former employees say they have not received any of the money owed to them. Collectively, the group, some of whom are still unemployed and two who have died, are owed $900,000. Patrice Morris, a former accounts department supervisor at the Home Center, says former employees are suffering.
I know we have persons who have lost homes. I had to go to Nassau, move to Nassau for a while looking for jobs. I came back to Freeport, still can't find anything that would pay me even. I was unemployed for about 4 years.
Former Chief Mechanic Supervisor at Freeport Concrete, Daniel Mitchell Sr., is begging for government intervention. He says the group simply wants what they are owed. Mitchell says former Freeport Concrete Chairman Hannes Babak informed them of the layoffs and promised they would be paid once company assets were sold.
To allow the experts, whatever it is, to come in there and wake the Bahamian people and can't pay them.
Other Freeport Concrete employees, Nathaniel Heald and Edgar Ouden III, say they just want what they worked for.
Right now I'm supposed to be home. I'm out here fighting to get my money, what I worked for 12 to 18 years. It's a crying shame.
What happened to Freeport Concrete is a tragedy. It's a tragedy.
Community leader Troy Garvey says they wrote to government officials in December and got no response. He again asked for their intervention.
There's no way that no Bahamian in this country, and by extension, no employee of this country, should have to go through none of this in our country in the 21st century.
Garvey says the entire situation is unacceptable, and if the group gets no results, they will take it to another level, even if it means they must go to the House of Assembly. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
In news from the crime beat, a Bimini man was taken to the government clinic shortly after 11 this morning, suffering from a gunshot wound. The victim telling police that he was shot in the leg by a man who is known to him while in Bailey Town. He was airlifted to the capital where he is said to be in stable condition. Investigations into this matter are ongoing. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.